So it's been almost 10 days, actually 10 days exactly, since I moved halfway around the world. And every single day there have been major, major lessons. And to be honest with you, the lessons have all centered around communication. For most people, we have environments that we live in, and then other people come into our worlds. That's your spouse, that's your staff, heck, even your children, right? There's a world that you've created, and people come into your world. And in those times, often we feel almost entitled, is the word I'll use, that the people who come into our environment should learn to communicate the way we communicate, right? Well, when was the last time you went into someone else's environment? And because that's exactly where I am right now. So, I'm halfway around the world and in someone else's environment, and they communicate very, very differently. And yes, it's English. It's English. We're all speaking English. However, the definition of certain words, the usage of certain words, and combination with others isn't the same. And so it creates this moment of frustration. So I'll give you an example. We were looking to get internet service. Obviously, it's something that you're going to need, right? Running a business, living a life, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're working with this broker, this agent, on getting internet service. And he says, I have a great plan for you. I have the perfect thing for you. It is a no contract, right? And okay, that's good, because everything else we looked at had the words lock up on it, which is their way of saying contract. Okay. And so this is a no contract. All right. That's what you say to me. And so then he sends me the information, and I'm looking at the information, and as I'm looking at it, and he sent me what he sent me at the very top, it says 12-month contract. And so I write back to him and I said, I thought you said this was a no contract. This clearly says 12-month contract. He says, yes, it's no contract. No contract. I said, I don't understand. And not only do I not understand, but the price is almost double everything else. So it's the ones that have the words lockup on it, which you say is a contract. This price is double, but it still says contract, but it doesn't say lock up. So now I'm confused. And I'm trying to get him to explain, because I'm not, and he's just repeating himself, and I don't understand. It wasn't until a few hours later when I was looking at the form again and I read the fine print. How many of us actually read the fine print, right? And I read the fine print all the way down at the bottom, and the fine print said that in order to take this plan, what you're paying is 12 months up front. So today I need to pay for the next year. And if I decide to cancel, there is no refund. So to him, that means no contract. And so he's there telling me that there's no contract. And I'm sitting there saying, well, number one, it clearly says contract. And then even after I read the fine print, well, that is a contract. I paid for it up front. I'm still in a contract. And, it made me think just about the fact that communication is one of those things that we constantly have to work on, because there are perspectives in the way other people communicate with us that we're just not getting. And so there may be things going on in your workplace with your team, and you're just not sure why it's not happening. Something's not working, and you don't know which way it's coming from, and it's frustrating at times, and sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, it's a communication issue. And there's a moment in time where you have to stop and ask yourself, okay, I know you might be in my environment, and I may want you to communicate the way I communicate, but is that the most efficient and effective thing right now? Or can I slow myself down enough to hear you, to ask questions, to really understand you, to understand what it is that you're trying to communicate. You see, because majority, when I say the majority, I'm talking about 95+% of workplace failures happen because of poor systems. Poor systems happen because of poor communication. Poor communication. Because there are assumptions in the way I communicate that I expect that you're understanding and you don't, and vice versa. And that's what creates the problem. And so, as my communication skills are being tested every single day in this move so far, I want to ask you for a moment. Stop and test your own communication skills. How can you be a better communicator with your team?